I am 101 years old. My name is Margaret Lewis. I live in a small apartment in Ohio now, not far from where I spent most of my life. I've lived in this country long enough to remember when neighbors left their doors unlocked and voices carried across front porches in the evening. I don't go out much anymore. The world moves faster than my body can follow. I've been married twice. Both of my husbands are gone now. I outlived them by years I never expected to have. I had 3 children. All 3 of them are gone too. When people hear that, they usually don't know where to look. I don't blame them. There isn't a right place to rest your eyes when someone tells you that. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I'm saying it because it explains why I'm finally willing to speak honestly. At this age, there's nothing left to protect. People used to call me strong. They said it like it was the best thing you could be. Strong Margaret, dependable Margaret, the one who could handle anything. I accepted that description early, and I never questioned it. I grew up during a time when women learned quickly what was expected of them. You didn't talk too much about how you felt. You didn't make things harder by needing comfort. You did your part and kept moving. Strength meant not slowing others down. My first marriage happened when I was very young. I didn't feel swept away. I felt chosen. That mattered to me. He was serious, worked long hours, didn't say much. I thought quiet meant safe. I thought love would show itself through stability. I became very good at holding things together. Meals were on time, clothes were clean, children were fed and sent off with reminders and instructions. I rarely raised my voice. I rarely cried where anyone could see. I thought that was maturity. When my children were small, my days were full in a way that left no space to ask questions. There was always something to fix or prepare. If I felt overwhelmed, I pushed it down. That's what strong women did. They didn't ask for relief, they became the relief. My husband died younger than expected. Illness. It took him slowly. By the time he was gone, I had already learned how to manage grief quietly. I didn't fall apart. People admired that. They said I handled it well. I didn't realize then that handling it meant locking something away. I remarried later. The second time felt more practical than hopeful. Companionship seemed better than being alone. He was kind in a distant way. We shared routines more than dreams. I told myself that was enough. At my age, wanting more felt selfish. Years passed, children grew up, life scattered them in different directions. We spoke on the phone, we visited when we could. I told myself distance was normal, that everyone's life eventually spread out like that. What I didn't see was how often I chose being capable over being open. When someone asked how I was, I said I was fine, especially when I wasn't. I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to need reassurance. The second loss came quietly too. another hospital room, another set of belongings to sort through. By then, people expected me to be resilient. I was, at least on the outside. Inside, something was wearing thin. Losing my children came in different ways at different times. There is no order that makes sense. There is no strength that prepares you for that. I won't talk about the details. They belong to me. What matters is that after the last one was gone, the word strong stopped feeling like praise. It started to feel like a sentence. I sit by my window now and think about how much I gave away to live up to that word. How often I chose silence because it was easier for everyone else. How many times I stayed composed when what I needed was to be held. I didn't know I was trading parts of myself. I thought I was being responsible. I thought that was what love looked like. At 101, I understand something I couldn't see then. Strength kept me standing, but it also kept me alone. That's where my story really begins. I didn't always feel alone. That's the part people misunderstand. Loneliness didn't arrive the day someone died. It grew slowly, alongside everything else, so quietly that I mistook it for normal life. When my children were alive, I was surrounded by noise, voices, needs, movement. I told myself I didn't mind always being the one who held things together. I thought that was my role. Mothers don't get tired, they get things done. Wives don't ask for too much, they adjust. I remember moments now that felt small at the time. My daughter sitting at the edge of my bed trying to talk, and me telling her we'd talk later because the dishes were still in the sink. My son standing in the doorway, unsure whether to come in, and me saying I was busy but listening. I was rarely listening. I didn't mean to teach them not to lean on me. I thought I was teaching independence. What I was really teaching was distance. After my second husband passed, the house went very quiet. Not the calm kind of quiet people imagine, the kind that reminds you of every sound that used to be there. I stayed composed, I handled paperwork, I thanked people for casseroles and cards. I told everyone I was managing. Inside, I was tired of managing. The children called, less often as time went on, but they called. I didn't tell them how lonely the nights felt. I didn't tell them how heavy the mornings were. I didn't want them to worry. I didn't want to be another responsibility. That's the thing about being strong for too long. You start to believe your needs don't count. When the losses came one by one, I met each of them the same way, quietly, respectfully. I cried alone, I cleaned up afterward, I showed the world a woman who could endure anything. People admired me for that. They said they couldn't imagine how I did it. Neither could I just never stopped. After the last funeral, after the last card was put away, I sat in my living room and realized there was no one left who really knew me. They knew the version of me that worked, that coped, that didn't ask. That realization didn't break me, it settled into me. I had spent my life believing strength would protect me, that if I didn't need too much, I wouldn't lose too much. I was wrong. I lost things anyway, and I lost myself along the way.
At this age, there's no fixing the past. You don't get to rewrite conversations. You don't get to show up late and still be counted as present. Time doesn't bend because you finally understand. That's a hard thing to sit with. If I'm speaking to you now, I'm not trying to teach you how to live. I don't know your life. I only know what mine cost me. I wish I had known that strength doesn't mean silence, that being reliable doesn't mean being unreachable, that letting people see you struggle doesn't make you weak, it makes you real. I thought love was proven by how much I could carry without complaint. I see now that love also needs softness. It needs pauses. It needs space to be spoken. There were moments when I could have chosen differently, stayed a little longer, said what I felt instead of what was practical. I didn't see those moments as important then. They felt interruptive. Now I know they were everything. At 101, my days are simple. I wake up, I sit by the window, I watch the light move across the room. Some days I talk to myself out loud just to hear a voice. Some days I sit quietly and let the memories come and go without chasing them. I don't feel bitter. That surprises people. I feel clear. Strength kept me alive, but presence would have made me feel alive. If any of this sounds familiar to you, you don't need to change your whole life. Just notice where you're choosing endurance over honesty. Notice who you're being strong for and what it's costing you. As for me, I don't have much time left. I know that. I'm not afraid of it. I'm more careful with moments now. Even small ones feel heavier, fuller. This is the truth I learned too late. I didn't give away my life all at once. I gave it away in small, reasonable pieces, and I called it strength.